गिरिधारी Śrī Rādhā Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Śrī Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrī Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu Gosai Maharaj Śrī Gurudev ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrī Bhakti-rasamrta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrī Bhakti-vedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti-pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti-pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrī Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jiva Gopal Patadasha Gunath Shara Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Śrī Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhar Śrī Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Rādhā Kunda Śyāma Kunda ki jai. Śrī Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Śrī Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Śrī Bhakti Devi ki jai. Śrī Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Śrī Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu ki jai. Śrīla Rupa Goswami Pada ki jai. Śrī Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Śrī Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Sorry, 1 second. All right. Sorry, I was just sharing the link for this in our group. Haribo, Rase Shri Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. So, I'll just do a very quick Mangalacharan. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Bhaja Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All right, so I'm going to start with the first verse of Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu. It's the Mangalacharan verse, the auspicious invocation verse by Śrīla Rupa Goswami. And right now, I'm just going through a very basic, explanation of the verse. But the verse goes very deep, and there's a commentary written by Śrīla Jiva Goswami called the Durgama Sangamini. Durgam means gama comes from the word gaman, which means to traverse, to walk, and dur means like difficult. So difficult to traverse, and then sang means with, and gamini means assisting to walk, helping to walk. So this commentary helps us to traverse the difficult parts to pass through of Śrīla Rupa Goswami's Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu. That's what Śrīla Jiva Goswami's commentary, that's the title of it. I'm not sure if I explained it in the best way. Anyways, one reason I'm doing this right now is so that it will help me learn better myself. And so as I learn more things, then I'll be sharing it here. But this is also kind of like we're studying together right now. I'm not really giving a class. I'm studying with all of you. Dandavad pranam Swarup Manjari. So let me share my screen. I have my iPad here, and we'll go over this first verse. Mangala Charan. 1 second. All right. So, oops, let me close this. All right, so here is my screen. And remember, yesterday, last class, we went over the different parts of Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu, the nectar of instruction. So first we went over Bhagavad Bhakti Ras, the eastern section, which is divided into 4 waves, and then the Dakshin section, the southern section, which is divided into 5 waves, right? And then the western section, which is also divided into 5 waves, and then the northern section, which is divided into 8 waves. So the first section has all the eastern section has all the different levels of bhakti, like the different stages of bhakti. There's first a general explanation, samanya bhakti, which we're going to be starting right now. And then after sadhan bhakti, and then bhav bhakti, and then prema bhakti, so that whole gradual progression up to the ultimate aim of prem bhakti. Then the dakshin of vibhag are samanya bhagavad bhakti ras. This is like a general explanation of all the different ingredients which bring about the ras, vibhav, anubhav, satvik bhav, vyabhichari bhav. And then in the western section, there's the sthāyi bhav, all the main fixed rasas, relationships with Krishna. So shantaras, dasyaras, sakyaras, vatsalyaras, madhuryaras. And then, so that's the mukhya ras, all the main fixed feelings towards Krishna, relationships with Krishna. And then in the northern section, the final 4th section, is all the secondary rasas. So that's, there are 7 secondary rasas: hasya, laughter, wonder, chivalry, compassion, anger, dread, ghastliness. And then at the very last section is how all these different rasas, how they all are compatible and incompatible with each other. It says friendship, enmity, situation. Maitri, vaira, sthiti. So that's what we went over in our first Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu class. So now we're going to be going over this Mangala Charan, the very first verse, invocation verse. And I probably should go over this again when I learn more meanings and I get a better understanding. But anyways, this is just a preliminary class. So first, let's say the Sanskrit, and then we can start. And let me just check everything's okay. Cool. Looks like it is. I'm just going to check back every now and then to make sure the connection's still going. Okay. So this verse has 2 different, like each word has 2 meanings. One is in relation to the moon, and one is in relation to Krishna. So So in relation to the moon, it's called, so how do you say moon in Sanskrit? Well, there's many ways of saying the moon, but one way is Candra-pakṣa. Okay, so that's one way that this is understood, and then another way that the words relate to the Kṛṣṇa-pakṣa. Kṛṣṇa-pakṣa. So all these words in this verse relates to the moon and to Krishna. So we're going to go through both meanings, the Candra-pakṣa and Kṛṣṇa-pakṣa. So I think first let's go through it in relation to the moon. Or should we go through in relation to Krishna? I think let's first go in relation to the moon. So, akhila. Oh wait, let's first say the Sanskrit. Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ prasṛmara-ruci-ruddha-tārakā-pāliḥ kalita-śyāmā-lalito rādhā-preyān vidhur jayati akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ prasṛmara-ruci-ruddha-tārakā-pāliḥ kalita-śyāmā-lalito rādhā-preyān vidhur jayati. One more time. Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ prasṛmara-ruci-ruddha-tārakā-pāliḥ kalita-śyāmā-lalito rādhā-preyān vidhur jayati. So, vidhu. There's an R there, but if you just, because of Sanskrit rules, if it comes before a ja, then it becomes a vidhur, but it's actually viduhu. So what's viduhu? Means the moon. Let's write that here. Viduhu means moon. And also I think Jiva Goswami gives further explanations, like it means vidurit, which means vidurit, it takes away all inauspiciousness. It just, it removes all inauspiciousness, and and it vidadhati, it gives vidadhati, I think. This is just what I remember reading, but it gives all happiness, all pleasure, it gives pleasure. All right, so that's the moon. Vidur, so vidurit and vidadhati. Vidurit means removes, and vidadhati means it gives. So it removes all inauspiciousness, and vidadhati, it gives pleasure. And there's something also like about it being all beautiful, or I can't remember that one though. But so, anyways, that's the moon. Vidhu. And what is the moon? It is akhila. Akhila means entire. Entire. It also means all. And then rasa. Rasa means nectar. So does amrita mean nectar. But rasa means, so rasa-amrita is the embodiment of all different kinds of flavor. Flavor, nectar, like that. Flavor, nectar. And it also, ras means like juice and like nectar. Yeah, anyways, you get the idea. So, and murti means the very form, or embodiment. So the moon is, it's said in Vedic scriptures that the moon is, it's sudakar, it gives nectar. At nighttime, it injects flavor into all the plants. And so it's called sudakar. Sudha also means nectar, and so it distributes nectar. And so So this moon is the very form of all different kinds of nectar. Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ. And then prasṛmara means spreading out. Spreading out. And ruci means splendor. Splendor. Splendor also can mean effulgence. Yeah, effulgence and also beauty. Beauty also. Oops, I spelled beauty without a U. Let me fix that. Sorry guys, I'm still. Beauty. And then ruddha. Ruddha means it obstructs, it eclipses. I think that's a good word here. Eclipses. Eclipses. It outshines, it eclipses. Eclipses what? The Tārakā, the stars. Stars. And Pali means groups of. So groups of stars is a, what do you say? A constellation, right? How do you spell constellation? I don't know, I'm just guessing here. Constellation. Okay. So the moon, which is the very form, the very embodiment of nectar, akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, it spreads out this nectar, this splendor. Now, the moon is spreading out, and this splendor, this effulgence, this beauty, which completely eclipses the stars, the constellation of stars. And then kalita means accepts. It accepts, or also it can mean embraces. Embraces. And then Śyāma means night. So and Lalita means, what does it mean? Lalita means gracefully, beautifully, gracefully, I think. Gracefully. Gracefully. What other words for Lalita? Anyways, I have to look this up later. So the moon embraces, it accepts the beautiful. I think Lalita also means beautifully, beautiful, elegantly. Nah. Anyways, it gracefully accepts the night. It embraces the night. And then Rādhā. Rādhā-preyān. It is the beloved of Radha. And so we were just reading in our Śrīmad Bhagavatam class this morning that there are 27 constellations. And I think it's the 16th constellation is called Viśākhā constellation. And the 17th constellation is called the Anuradha constellation. And I think Anuradha means it comes before Radha. Or it comes after. No, it comes after. Anuradha means it comes after Radha. And so it's referring to the Viśākhā nakshatra, which comes only, it's the full moon in the springtime. During the springtime, the full moon comes on Viśākhā nakshatra, also known as Radha. So, it is the beloved, preyān comes from priya, And actually, more specifically, it means one who tries to, because priya means dear, or who pleases. And so preyān means one who tries to please, one who endeavors to please. And then Rādhā is the Viśākhā nakshatra. Oops. Viśākhā, nakshatra. Also known as Rādhā. So it is the beloved of the Viśākhā nakshatra, and it also means who becomes most beautiful during the Viśākhā nakshatra. In the Viśākhā nakshatra, it becomes most pleasing. So it has two meanings: who tries to please and who becomes most beautiful during the Viśākhā nakshatra, during the springtime, this full moon. So then finally it says jayati. Jayati is present tense. It means is, what do you say? Is, what do you say? Victorious? Triumphant? Victorious. So this moon is all glories to this moon. It is victorious. It's triumphant. It is, So that's the meaning. That's the meaning in relation to the moon. So now let's go through all these words in relation to the meaning of Kṛṣṇa, according to Kṛṣṇa, the Kṛṣṇa-pakṣa. So Kṛṣṇa is, yes, he's the entire. This is fine. I don't need to rewrite it. Of all different flavors. Kṛṣṇa is the murti. He's the form. He's the embodiment of all different kinds of flavors. Oh, and one thing. First, let's start off with the subject, vidhur. So vidhur, there's Srila Jiva Goswami, he gives some verse which means that, which it's a definition, I think, from the Amarkosha dictionary, which is like the most authoritative dictionary, like since ancient times. And it gives some Sanskrit thing that means that vidhu is vidhu is he who bears the Śrī the Śrī Vatsa. So what is the Śrī Vatsa? I think Śrī Vatsa is on Vishnu's left side. I can't remember. I think it's on Vishnu's left side is the curl of hair called the Śrī Vatsa. And on his right side is the Swarna-rekha, the golden line. I might be getting the directions mixed up. But yeah, that's all of the different forms of Vishnu. That's something that's uniquely on Vishnu Tattva. Also on Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa has a Śrī Vatsa. And Kṛṣṇa has a Swarna-rekha. But, so vidhu, the Sanskrit dictionary definition is vidhu is he who bears the Śrī Vatsa. So that could refer to any form of Vishnu, right? But only Kṛṣṇa, like Vrajendra Nandan Sham Sundar Kṛṣṇa in Vrindavan, only that Kṛṣṇa is akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ. So akhila means all, the entirety of all flavors, of all the rasas. And what are all the different rasas? He's the very form of that. He's the very embodiment of that. And what are all the different rasas? We'll go over them. But, there's Shantaras, there's the main rasas, Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras. That's, the ras of awe and veneration and neutrality, or passivity, is that how you say it? Anyways, there's just, offering prayers and like that. And then there's Dasyaras, in loving servitude. And then Sakyaras in friendship. Then there's the flavor of parental affection. And then amorous amorous love. That's madhurya ras. So there's those 5 main rasas, and then there's also the secondary rasas. Hasya ras, adbhuta ras, vira ras, karuna ras, rudra ras, bhayanaka, vipakṣā, so that's laughter, wonder, chivalry, compassion, anger, dread, ghastliness, all these different rasas. That's 12 rasas in all. So Krishna is the complete, Murti, embodiment of all these different rasas. And only Krishna. There's no Sakya ras with Vishnu. There's no Madhurya ras with Nrsimhadev, It's only Krishna who is the complete embodiment of all these rasas. So there's actually a verse in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Let me see if I can find it. Let me just open up. It gives an example of how Krishna is, in one place, Krishna is showing Malanam. I think that's how it starts. Yeah, Malanam. Let's see. Yeah. Shoot. Okay, the diacritics are all messed up. Anyways, I'm just going to read the translation, though. This is from Śrīmad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 43. O Parikshit, when Śrī Krishna, the embodiment of all rasas, entered the wrestling arena with his brother Śrī Balaram. Actually, let's see. There must be a better translation. Let's see what this translation's like. Does it go through all... these aren't the best translations. Anyways, let's just read this translation. So, when Krishna entered the wrestling arena with his brother Śrī Balaram, the various groups of people present regarded Krishna in different ways according to the mood in which they were situated. And they also realized that particular ras itself. The huge wrestlers witnessed Krishna to be as hard and as a lightning bolt. What ras is that? I guess that's vira ras. Or is it bhayanaka ras? I don't know. The young women, possessing a high degree of madhurya ras, saw him as Cupid personified. So yeah, that's madhurya ras. And within their hearts, they became absorbed in thinking of him with amorous intentions. The ordinary men regarded him as jewel-like among men. So what ras would that be? I guess Shanta ras? No. I don't know. And the Gopas recognized him as their relative. Maybe that's adbhuta ras, I don't know. And the Gopas recognized him as their relative, like with Sakya ras. And Hasya ras also. Oh, Krishna, yeah, he's going to fight Chanura and Mushtika, but we could defeat him, So then the impious rulers considered him to be a severe chastiser of the wicked. So that's bhayanaka ras, fear. And then the older men and ladies, who were his father and mother, viewed him as the most beautiful child. That's vatsalya ras. Kamsa, I'm just making these up. I might be wrong here. This is just my... Kamsa, the king of the Bhojas, knew him as time personified, or death. So that would definitely be bhayanaka ras, the fear, dread. The unintelligent materialists saw him as the universal form, and the yogis as the absolute truth, and the vrishnis, who are devotees and lovingly disposed to the Lord, honored him as their supreme worshipable deity. I guess that would be like dasya ras. Oh, here it gives, thus yogis developed sharas, the vrishnis developed dasya ras, the cowherd boys who were fond of joking developed sakya ras and hasya ras, Nanda Baba and the cowherd men developed vatsalya ras and karuna ras, compassion. The ladies developed madhur ras, the wrestler developed vira ras, chivalry. The ordinary persons felt adbhuta ras, astonishment. The fearful kings, rodra ras, anger. Kamsa developed bhayanaka ras, fear. And the materialists experienced vipakṣā ras, disgust. Shri Gurudev, by means of mantra, establishes this type of relationship with Bhagavan according to the specific tastes in each jiva. The jiva should also remain attentive and absorbed in executing the process of worship given by the spiritual master until he reaches his desired goal. Of all devotional moods, Kanta Bhava is undoubtedly the most excellent. Alright, so let's get back to this. Oops, 1 second, my iPad shut off. Alright, so Ruci means splendor, effulgence, beauty. So Krishna's beauty, oh God, I'm trying to think of, anyways, Krishna's beauty, his splendor, his beauty completely, I guess the word is dominates. No, wait, one second. I actually watched a video by, what's his name? By, oh God, just trying to open this up. Let's see, this is, what's his name? Hari Prasad Prabhu. Parshad, I mean, Hari Parshad Prabhu. And he said, he gave an explanation of this. Who is spreading attraction, completely controlled. Okay, so it means controlled. Yeah, controlled is a nicer word than dominates. Dominates sounds, yeah. Controls, oops. So it means covers, oh yeah, Ruddha also means covers. Covers, and it means stops. Okay, and then, but in relation to Krishna, it means he controls. Controls. And ruci also means attraction. Attraction. All right, so spreading out this attraction, or this beauty, he completely controls Ruddha. Tārakā, so there's the, Tārakā is a gopi. Tārakā, gopi. She's actually a group leader, a Yuteshwari. So there's, many millions of gopis under this gopi Tārakā. And Pali is also a gopi. Pali. She's also a group leader. So Krishna completely controls Tārakā and Pali. And then Krishna accepts, or he also embraces, the gopi known as Śyāmalā. It's Śyāma for short, but this is Śyāmalā Saki, and she's also a group leader. It's called a Yuteshwari. Śyāmalā. And Lalita, also Lalita Saki. Lalita. And the reason it's a short A here, or here it's O, but the reason why is because these are all these lines here, akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, prasṛmara-ruci-ruddha-tārakā-pāliḥ, and kalita-śyāmā-lalito, and rādhā-preyān. All of these are adjectives of the word vidhur. So there's how many adjectives? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 adjectives. See, this is, let me change this color, 1 second. What color should we do? I'm just going to make it light blue. Okay, so this is the first adjective. This is the second adjective. This is the third adjective. And this is the fourth adjective. This rādhā-preyān. So, kalita-śyāmā-lalito, he embraces, or he accepts, he embraces Śyāmalā and Lalitā. So he controls Tārakā and Pālikā, and he embraces Śyāma and Lalita. And then finally, he is the beloved, he is the preyān, the beloved of Śrī Rādhā. Śrī Rādhā. And it also means he endeavors to please Śrī Rādhā. So, vidhur jayati, that Krishna is all victorious. May he, let's see how, what did Hari Parshad, what did he translate? Yes, he also writes victorious. All right, let me look at the comments 1 second. Okay, the curl of white hair on his chest is over the left side of his heart. Okay, cool. Ruchi, yeah, ruchi can also mean taste or pleasure, but the way I've heard it explained here is attraction, splendor, effulgence, beauty, like that. All right. So now these four gopis are, there are four different groups of gopis. There's the svapakṣa, so that's in Radharani's group. Svapakṣa means own group. Then there's the suhṛt-pakṣa, which are all the gopis that are in the group that are friendly to Radharani. They're like Radharani's friends. They're favorable. They have friendship with Radharani. They're separate, but they have friendship with Radharani. Then there's the taṭastha-pakṣa, which are all the gopis which are neutral towards Radharani. They don't really have any kind of relationship, not good or bad. And then there is the vipakṣā group, those who are against Radharani. And so, Lalita, she is svapakṣa. And remember, these are the four different types of gopis here. So first is Lalita, she's svapakṣa. Let's make a different color for this. Let's try purple. She is svapakṣa. She's in Radharani's own group. And she's actually qualified to be a group leader, but she's not really, like she gives everything to Radharani. And then Śyāmalā, she is suhṛt-pakṣa, friendly to Radharani. Suhṛt-pakṣa. And then Pāliḥ, she is taṭastha. She is neutral. Oops. Is it like that? I can't actually. No, it's taṭastha. It's taṭastha. There's no. Sorry, guys. She's taṭastha. And then Tārakā Gopi, she is vipakṣā. She's against Radharani. They are rivals. Vipakṣā. And also taṭastha is suhṛt-pakṣa with the vipakṣā gopis, so they're also not to be trusted. So yeah, these are the different four groups. And I think it's in Ujjvala Nilamani, I can't remember where, but it explains that there are two different kinds of love for Krishna, two kinds of affection for Krishna, sneha. One is madhu sneha and the other is ghrita sneha. And madhu sneha, madhu means honey, and ghrita means ghee. And so madhu sneha, Radharani's affection for Krishna is sweet like honey, and it's the nature of honey. When it becomes heated, it liquefies. It condenses, actually, no. When you heat honey, then it starts to condense. It starts to become thicker and thicker. But with ghee, when you heat it, it starts to not become, it doesn't condense. It what do you say? It starts to become more loose and but with ghee, when you put it in a cold atmosphere, when it's cold, that's when it becomes hardened and condensed. And so it's the same thing with Radharani. When there's some heat, there's some fire, when there's some against mood with Krishna, that's when the affection increases more and more and more. But with Ghrita Sneha, and Ghrita Sneha is like Chandravali, the Vipakṣā gopis. When it's in a cold atmosphere, that's when it becomes more condensed and more hardened. So cold means it's when things are more proper and etiquette, and and the one big difference between Madhu Sneha and Ghrita Sneha is Madhu Sneha is there's a mood of Madhya Bhav, that Krishna is mine. You know, Krishna is my property. But with Ghruta Sneha, there's a feeling of Tvadiya Bhav, which means I am Krishna's. So the love is more intense in Madhu Sneha. That's Radharani's love, but which is full of more heat. I'm not sure that was not such a perfect explanation, but yeah. So these different groups are going from Ghruta Sneha to Madhu Sneha. You know, the vipakṣā group is just totally Ghruta, and then, anyways, I'm talking about something that's way above me. But yeah, so finally here, who is the beloved or who endeavors to please Śrī Rādhā, rādhā-preyān, vidhur jayati. That vidhu, that Krishna, is victorious. And this word jayati is in the present tense. Why is it in the present tense? That means it's not just, it means that he's victorious right now, because Krishna's pastimes are going on today. It's happening right now. There's never a time when it's not going on. And so, you know, in this universe and another universe, he's always victorious. So yeah, that's the explanation of Candra-pakṣa and Kṛṣṇa-pakṣa. I hope this is all clear. Let's just go through it really quickly. Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ. Actually, let's look at the translation given in, I think, Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu. Let's see, let me make this big. Let there be all glory to the omnipotent Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇacandra, who is endowed with all excellence and who is the personification of transcendental bliss, characterized by the 12 forms of ras. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and 7 secondary. So yes, you know, laughter, wonder, compassion, anger, fear, heroism, and disgust. By the radiance of his limbs. So what's the radiance? That's the ruci, which is spreading in all directions, which is prasṛmara. He has brought under his control ruddha, the Yuteshwaris, the leaders of various groups of gopis, named Tārakā, who is vipakṣā, representing a rival group of that of Śrī Rādhā, and then Pāliḥ, who is a taṭastha group, representing the neutral group, and he has made Śyāmalā, who is a suhṛt-pakṣā, and a friendly group, and Lalita, who is a svapakṣā, belonging to Radharani's own group, his very own. He's embraced them, he's accepted them as his very own. And he is the most beloved of Śrīmati Radhika, rādhā-preyān. That is, being under the control of the prem of Śrīmati Radhika, who is the embodiment of the Mahabhav of all the Yuteshwaris, all the group leaders. He is always intently absorbed in inspiring her love. That Śrī Krishna is glorious. He is victorious. What's the Bengali say? I haven't actually looked into this deeply. Ekhane ras bolite vakyaman shanta dasya sakya vatsalya madhur. This is Srila Goswami Maharaj's explanation. E sapta gona ras ekatra tadash ras ke. Prasṛmara means prasarashil, jaha avirat vichurit. Okay. Kalita atma sakrit. Okay, sakrit. So he's accepted as his own. Okay, so let me fix that in here. Actually, because this is relating to Krishna, I'll make this. Anyways. Alright, so. Oh, and how do they translate ruci here? Sorry, one second. One second. Brought under his control. Okay, that's Ruddha. And Ruci means the radiance. Ruci here is radiance. The splendor. I wrote a splendor, effulgence, beauty. So by his radiance, by his beauty, by his effulgence, he controls Tārakā and Pālikā. And he accepts as his own, or he embraces Śyāmalā and Lalitā. And he is the beloved of Śrī Rādhā. May that Śrī Kṛṣṇa, may that vidhur be victorious. Alright, so I think that's it for now. Oh my god, this is long. 40 minutes. I wasn't expecting to speak this long. No, Tārakā is not Candravali. That's, no, she's another gopi. But I guess maybe, I don't know, I'm just like making up stuff right here, but maybe she's like, you know how Lalita is to Radharani? Maybe Tārakā is like that to Candravali? That's just a guess. So, I guess your homework, if you want to have homework, you don't have to do this, but is to memorize this verse. Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, let me see if I can do it without looking. Akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, that's the first adjective. prasṛmara-ruci-ruddha-tārakā-pāliḥ, kalita-śyāmā-lalito, rādhā-preyān vidhur jayati. Yeah, so you have to memorize this verse. Alright. And if you want, you can try reciting the verse in our group. What is it? The Daily Bhagavatam group. Or you can just send it to me personally, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Alright, so if I find out anything more about this verse, because this verse is very deep. Srila Jiva Goswami wrote a very long commentary on it. And I just gave a very basic explanation. But, yeah, anyhow. If I find out anything more, any little more details to give, then I will share that with you. Alright, Jai Śrī Rādhā, Jai Śrī akhila-rasāmṛta-mūrtiḥ, Śrī Kṛṣṇacandra ki Jai. Śrī Vṛṣabhanunandini Śrīmati Rādhā Thakurani ki Jai. Śrī Rādhā Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Śrī Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Śrī Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Śrīla Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Śrī Bhakti-rasamrta-sindhu ki Jai. Śrīla Jiva Goswami Par ki Jai. Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Go. Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyai Keshavashaja Kṛṣṇa-bhakti-pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavad Pranamas. Alright, I'm ending now.